Hello everyone, imagine yourself at 12 a.m. searching for something to eat. You already ate dinner, but you think a small bag of chips or an ice cream cone will just not satisfy your grumbling stomach for the entire night. But you also think, on the other hand, that eating a meal would just be too much for your stomach. So what do? Do not worry, because I have prepared how to make this Shin Ramen. So, this Shin Ramen that I'll be talking to you guys about today will satisfy your grumbling stomach for the entire night. So, the Shin Ramen was created by a South Korean company called Nongshim in 1986. It has become so popular that it became worldwide. It was exported to more than 100 different countries, and it has become the highest selling brand in South Korea. It usually comes in a form of a bag or a cup right here. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this before because you guys can find it anywhere at your local Asian market, and it's very cheap, which is why I think it is perfect for you guys to just go make it real quick when you guys are feeling hungry at night. So my Korean parents actually taught me how to make this Korean Shin Ramen when I was in 6th grade, and I have perfected this way on how to make this Korean Shin Ramen, which is why I think I am personally credible to share this information with you guys today. So today I'll be showing you guys the most basic and unique ways to make this Korean Shin Ramen. First, I'll be talking about the ingredients that go into this Korean Shin Ramen. And secondly, I'll be talking about the step-by-step process that you'll need to make this Korean Shin Ramen. And thirdly, I'll be discussing the different ways to make this Korean Shin Ramen according to your preference. So, now let me show you how easy it is to make this Korean Shin Ramen by starting with ingredients. So, the ingredients that we need are obviously water and the Korean Shin Ramen package. And usually you need around 350 milliliters of water, but I'll get to that later. And you'll obviously need a stove and this little small pot right here. This pot is a perfect example of what kind of or how big the pot should be, because you don't want something too big, because you want the water level to just be adjustable very easily, and I'll also get into that in a little bit as well. So now that we have discussed the equipments and ingredients that we need for the Korean Shin Ramen, I will move on to the fun part, which is making the Korean Shin Ramen. So I'll be showing you guys the step-by-step process into making the Korean Shin Ramen. And the first step is to boil 350 milliliters of water on high heat. Remember that. So, like I said, the Korean pot that I showed you guys earlier is very convenient because you guys can eyeball the level of water that you need. So, the water level should be a little higher than the height of the noodle itself. So if the noodle is this thick, if you're using the Korean pot, then you only need this much water. So it is very convenient because you don't have to measure 350 milliliters of water in the middle of the night, because everyone's starving and you don't want to sit there and just measure 350 milliliters of water, all right? So get yourself this pot right here, because that's what all the Koreans use. Okay, so next, second step, you want to open up the package and you will see 3 items. So I don't know if you can see clearly from there, but there is a noodle and 2 packages. So the silver package contains the sauce, and the clear package contains the vegetables. So you can open that up and just have it prepared. So the third step is to wait for the bubbles to rise to the top of the pot. So once you see bubbles, you can put in the ramen and change the heat and lower the heat to medium to high. So medium high, sorry. And this is very important because you don't want the noodles to overcook, right? And once you put the noodles in, you can also put in the 2 packets of vegetables and sauce, and then you can close the lid. So that's pretty much it. But when does the ramen become ready? So it will approximately take 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes, right? But I know everyone has a different stove, so I will be sharing my tip on how to tell when the noodles are ready. So the noodles should be completely loose from each other, and the noodles should become thicker than usual. So this little image right here on the bottom is a great example of what the noodles should look like when it is completed. So when those are complete, you can take one noodle from the pot and try it, and the noodle should be easy to bite into. So congratulations, you now know how to make the Korean Shin Ramen. And finally, we'll talk about the unique ways to enjoy it. So lastly, according to your preference, there are many different ways to enjoy the Korean Shin Ramen. So I'll be sharing the most common ingredients that go into the Korean Shin Ramen. So Koreans usually like to put egg, sausage, or rice cake into it. And they do this because they think the Shin Ramen is too plain or just not enough to fulfill or satisfy their stomach. My personal favorite ingredient is cheese. This is cheese because it makes the soup very creamy. And if you're a spice freak like me, you can also add in the Korean chili pepper called gochugaru, right? So there's also different ways to make the Korean Shin Ramen. If you want al dente texture, all you need to do is just change the time of how long you're cooking the ramen. So instead of 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes, you just want to cook it for 2 minutes. So when you bite into the noodle, it'll be very firm instead of very chewy. You can also make it a stir-fry version by removing 90% of the water and just pour the sauce in and just mix it evenly and just wait for 2 minutes. And it will just look like this. The picture on the right, that's a stir-fry version. Oops. It's a stir-fry version. And this little image on the left is an example of all the ingredients included. So there's sausages, rice cake, cheese, and chili pepper. I actually made that, so it looks bomb, right? Yeah, I know. Okay, so in conclusion, to close, I'll be going over what we have learned today. So, first of all, I talked about the ingredients that we need to make the Korean Shin Ramen. And secondly, I talked about the step-by-step process to make the most basic Korean Shin Ramen. And thirdly, I talked about different ways you can enjoy the Korean Shin Ramen by adding special ingredients and different ways to cook it. And today I shared the most basic and unique ways to make the Korean Shin Ramen, so you guys can just easily make it when you guys are feeling something at night, and just thank me. And also, if you have a loved one or you have a crush on someone, go make them this Korean delicious Shin Ramen because it will definitely make them fall in love. You know why? Just check out all the Korean dramas. You instantly fall in love with someone if they make you the Korean Shin Ramen. So if you are looking for a loved one, please try it out and let me know how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.